Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Y2. I'm your host, ThePikaWu. In the last episode, we took on the Nimbasa City gym leader. Found out Team Plasma was up to no good. We took care of them and kind of moved our way out to Route 5, where we learned about hidden grottos. And today we're going to kind of just finish off Route 5, and from there we will make our way to the next city, which is Driftveil City, home of the next gym leader. For anyone who didn't watch my previous Let's Play, then I guess you are in the dark about, you know, who the gym leader is and all that other crap. But, yeah. So, fair bit of information. Lily kind of gets screwed over as my lead throughout a good chunk of this episode, just because everyone decides to use either grass or, you know, flying types, because why not? So, I mean, there's that. So there's also another thing that we kind of cover in this area later on, which is the cross transceiver thing. There's another area here in Route 5 where if you walk into it, you will receive a call from the mysterious female who the cross transceiver that we picked up, you know, the one that owns it, of course. So apparently the way that it works, once you've had 10 phone calls with them, they will call, or like on the 10th call, they will call you and arrange to meet in Nimbasa City later on. They will meet you outside of the Ferris wheel and talk to you there. After that, they will register themselves in your own personal cross transceiver. However, they will only appear in certain areas randomly, the same areas that you can find on Serebii, because they have a little page about this. But they're not, like, I guess they're not limited to a single tile or something. I don't know if that means that you can just be in the area or whatever. The way I used to do it with just going to the actual tile, because I figured it'd just be easier and more accurate that way. So the way it works is, as you call them, you'll have many different conversations about very different subjects. Obviously, you know, different variety, of course. On the 30th, they will tell you that they want to meet in Nimbasa and they will want to ride the Ferris wheel with you. Call them to a total of 50 times, and you know, they'll be doing they'll make an appearance, of course, something like that. But apparently, on like the 40th call, they'll only be on their sound for whatever reason. In the 50th call, they'll be wearing their work clothes and cut the line in about a second or so. So, I mean, like, you'll get to see them kind of in their little work outfit or whatever, as well as, you know, the fact that you'll actually get to see them at a later time, of course, which is after, I think, you meet up with them in Nimbasa the first time, because there will be no point to kind of hide their face then. You'll know exactly what they look like. I think the reason for this is because, if you think about it, basically you call it just to see if anyone found it. If someone found it, you have no idea who that person is, so obviously you're not going to just walk up to him and be like, hey, yeah, can I have my cross transceiver back, please? In a way, this kind of shows that the AI for this person is intelligent, in the sense that they're not going to just walk into a trap. They're not going to be like, hey, you know, let's just walk into this mysterious person and be like, yeah, hey, I want it, and then just get it completely destroyed. Like, and, you know, like, it's just bad if that were the case. So it's kind of cool that they made it seem a bit more realistic. Well, he or she, depending on which gender you play, they take the time to try and get to know you better and find out whether or not you're really trustworthy or not. I mean, it is basically just a cell phone. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you have personal information on it that you wouldn't want to, you know, get out, then I mean, there is that. But I mean, being able to just cut that phone number completely from your phone service provider or whatever you want to call it, that's obviously a thing. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just, it's kind of, how do I put it, elaborate that they did that without really explaining why they did it the way they did it. So it's kind of cool that they did that. Personally, I'm a fan of the two characters that you can end up talking to. Like I think I said this in one of my previous episodes. I originally played as the female because Rosa or May, whichever name you prefer, whether it be the Japanese one or the English one, She's just adorable. She was my favorite out of the two characters. Didn't really like the male character's design just because it looked like he had like a kind of bush or something on his head, so I was like, but considering, you know, it's kind of a let's play thing, I'm gonna just go by gender for the most part, unless it's like Generation 3, in which case May is my obvious choice, because, you know, I don't think I did that through my Emerald, but it's going to be my obvious choice from this point on, basically. So if I ever get around to doing a Let's Play for AlphaSapphire or OmegaRuby, you know which character I'm going to be playing as. So there's that. So we get introduced here to this one's a triple battle. 3v3, all on the field at the same time. He leads Arkin, Tortuga, and Sigilif. He has the two exclusive fossils for this generation, which would be Arkin and Tortuga. And then he has a Sigilif, which is always just a pain in the ass. It's kind of a shame that my team was kind of put up like this, because as you can tell, I can't Giga Drain the Tortuga because she's not on the middle or on the far right where a Duat is, so I can't hit the Tortuga with Lilligant until I kill something. So I mean, if I were to kill the Arkin or the Sigilif immediately, then I would be able to, you know, actually hit it with Giga Drain, but that's obviously not gonna happen. So, but triple battles, they've never been something that I enjoy. Rotation's actually pretty cool. Double battles are obviously a thing because, you know, VGC. By the way, I didn't expect that to do that much damage. I guess this Duat has decent special attack. I mean, I know it's modest, but I mean, at the same time, I really wouldn't expect it to do that much damage to Tortuga, especially considering it's got decent defenses. I guess I think it has decent physical and special defense. I could be wrong about the special defense, of course, but I mean, like, I really don't know what else to really say about it, I guess. I mean, if it has pretty poor special defense, then, oh well, I guess it was an easy enough kill. Okay, yeah, it does have poor special defense. I guess that makes sense then. Beneficial, you know, special attacking nature, taking out a Pokemon that has almost no special defense. Yeah, I guess that's kind of a thing. I'm surprised that Arkin lived, but whatever. The cool thing about triple battles as well as rotation is every Pokemon that's out will get experience. So you can throw lucky eggs, or in this game's case, you can throw EXP shares on them, and they will all gain boosted experience. So if you needed a way to, you know, level things up a lot easier, then it's a good way to do it, which is why in Pokemon X and Y a lot of people like to use Restaurant Wow. I think that's the name. I don't remember if they actually call it a restaurant or if they call it a cafe. I'm pretty sure it's restaurant, but you know, either way, like, Luau has the option to do, I think, double, single. I'm not sure if it has single. I think it's double, triple, or rotation. And rotation's the best because it's still basically one-on-one. You don't have to worry about your other two Pokemon, you know, receiving damage. And you can lead something like Xerneas or something else that's really powerful and just have lucky eggs as well as EXP share on and everything, so you can just gain a massive amount of experience on every single Pokemon you have. Not to mention that whenever you go into the WoW and you start the battle sequence and whatnot, if you have any prior active O powers, they will remain active until you're done with all of your battles. So for the like 5 or 6 battles that you go through, if you use a Money O power 3 and a EXP power 3, you'd have to have help from a friend to do that, of course. But if you had someone to help you do that and you activated both of those, you would gain a very decent amount of money as well as experience. You can give the one that you're going to use to destroy basically every Pokemon in all of the battles the Amulet Coin, and then everything else on your team lucky eggs. So I mean, it's a lot of experience regardless of whether or not they actually fight or not. But yeah, so anyways, as I mentioned earlier on, this area does have one area where you can receive a call from Yancy, and that would be the area, of course. I did check off screen to make sure that you couldn't get another call in Nimbasa, at least not just yet. And you obviously can't call her yet, so that's also a thing. But yeah, so I mean, if you needed to initiate another call, you could get that other call right there. There's also going to be one in Driftveil, which we'll get to momentarily. Of course, we're gonna, you know, see what all we can see on the Driftveil bridge. As they were in black and white, this bridge has little shadows that appear that contain either the Pokemon Ducklet, or they come either that or they have a an EV wing. Was I think what you would call them appropriately. The only one that's not an EV wing is the Pretty Wing, which is completely useless. You can sell it for 100 Poké-dollars, which I guess is, you know, great, I guess. But yeah. Anyways, now we're in Driftveil, for what it's worth, of course. And upon arriving, we see a current Team Plasma member arguing with an old Team Plasma member, as they call them, ex-Team Plasma. So, I mean, like, this guy's trying to get him to come back into the actual ongoing, current, active, whatever, Team Plasma. And this ex-Team Plasma member does not want to go back. He doesn't want to disappoint N, and he wants to help save Pokemon rather than, you know, like the way that the X-Team Plasma works is they are working to save Pokemon from like actual bad trainers rather than just stealing them from, you know, people and quote-unquote liberating them or whatever. So, I mean, Team Plasma is still kind of good, but at the same time they're still kind of, you know, kind of out there, I guess is a good way to put that. So there's a few interesting things that can happen in the city, which we're not going to be able to get to today, of course. We're going to end up talking to all the NPCs on the outside first, then we'll be talking to all the NPCs on the inside, and we'll also be initiating the third call with Yancy, which means only 7 more to go. If you want to, you can backtrack to Nimbasa and head east instead of west, and you can go to, I believe it's Route 16, where you can initiate another call with her. If you do so, there's, I think, no less than 1 trainer that you would have to battle in order to just get to the spot. I've kind of debated on actually going in that direction to do the battles, but decided that I'll do that whenever we go back to Nimbasa after the 10th call, I guess, and we're going to head back there anyways. It's better to do that whenever we, you know, actually need to go there rather than, you know, when we don't. I guess that's the best way to put that. But, yeah, so I mean, it's something that we'll be doing eventually, just not right this very moment, because it's not exactly necessary. I mean, yeah, it's good experience, I suppose, but at the same time, our levels are decent enough. But, yeah. I honestly expected him to switch over to Arkin here for whatever reason. I don't know why he stayed in, but I guess he decided to stay in, so, I mean, that's kind of cool, I suppose. So I just take that chance and expect him to just stay on Tortuga here and just switch over to Lilligant. He decides to go for the wide guard again. I don't even remember. I don't know if that just like boosts your entire team's defense for the turn or what, because I mean, return didn't kill it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure my happiness is completely maxed out, not to mention I have the item to boost its power even further. And I mean, I don't know. And because Arkin is massively weak to water, basically, water pulse, because why not? I mean, stab, super effective damage with a boosting nature. Pretty sure that's going to kill, regardless. I believe he appears one or two more times throughout the game. I don't really remember. I only battled him, I think, here once. I don't think through my initial playthrough through the game that I battled him outside of the triple and the double, or not the double, the rotation. I don't know if he actually does a double battle one or not, but I could be wrong. So I think that these two are some of the last NPCs that we have to talk to here, of course. The guy up here is just blocking the road, so I mean, no point in talking to him. The Driftveil area that you get this call from Yancy is right here. Obviously she's going to be like, okay, yeah, whatever, and then we're going to talk about apparently some Pokemon type that I really like, even though I never say anything. And then she obviously has to go and deal with her colleague again, so she has to leave. So what we're going to be doing in the next episode is we're going to be continuing, exploring through Driftveil City, and hopefully we'll get started on the next gym. We might even get a new team member in the next episode. I haven't entirely planned out my entire team this time around, but we'll have to see. There's also a few other cool things here and there that we get to do and, discover as well. So be sure to stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and until next time, this is the PokeGamer signing out.